The news of the death of Barbara Gayle hit me like a rock to the head. Frankly speaking, I stumbled to get the remote to turn the volume up. Shock. That's what I experienced. Often we use the word loosely. I was truly shocked. And I didn't want to believe the story either. Good day. This is a special edition of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast for Wednesday, December 18, 2024. Frankly speaking, I could not wait for my usual live podcast on Sunday afternoon. I'm Franklin McKnight. I'd just recently seen Barbara Gayle last month. This after years being out of touch with her. Last month, November, when she, a veteran, was acknowledged and honored by the Press Association of Jamaica in Kingston. She greeted me with her usual sincerity and words of kindness, and we exchanged numbers. Barbara Gayle, it is difficult to find a nicer, gentler woman, not given to cascas and fussing or cruelty, always with that genuine smile to diffuse rancor and ill temper. But how could it be that she was dead, murdered in her own home? I had not considered, thought of Barbara as someone dead. After we rekindled our association at that luncheon last month, she sent me almost daily words of encouragement. Those little graphic, commercially produced words of encouragement. In a while, I'll share the final one she sent on Sunday, December 15th, 2024. I first met Barbara Gayle at the Gleaner more than 40 years ago. She was already an accomplished court reporter. She wanted to do nothing else. She stuck to it. From time to time, I had the privilege and responsibility of editing her stories. She knew more about court procedures than I and most of us. She knew the jargon and the court officers, and yet she never took offense at questions an editor might raise. She was no prima donna, though she might well have been. She was meticulous about getting it right. She wrote shorthand. Barbara Gayle had contacts for everybody who was anybody in the courts, frankly speaking, and anybody in the justice system. She had reach and clout. Barbara Gayle was respected and respectable. There were some memorable cases she broke. The woman who was sentenced because she didn't speak up. The man lost in the system 40 plus years, and then several more like that. Barbara Gayle believed in justice, and her courage and integrity meant she would report even when it hurt those she knew well. And then they killed her. Murder. I was angry Tuesday, most of the day and night. Angry and gutted. How could they kill somebody so worthwhile and useful and loving and kind? Somebody who had close family and associates and friends who loved her. Yet, yet, we have been doing that in Jamaica, frankly speaking, as my colleague and friend Desmond Richards reminds me all the time. We have been killing roughly 1,100 of our fellow men every year for 20 years. If we had each of them alive, they would fill the national stadium. Many of them are like Barbara. To others, somebody weeps or is shocked or is frightened by their death. Somebody, sometimes whole families, whole communities, feel lost and mourn. It's become an industry, this memory. And frankly speaking, I was angry on Tuesday, December 17th. Angry with myself and with so many of us. How did we allow ourselves to come to this? To murder Barbara and more than 1,000 more like her every year for the last 20 years. Rest well, Barbara. And here's a song you sent me. Remind me here. That's the song.
Jesus only let me use them to brighten my life. So remind me, dear Lord.
I'm Franklin McKnight. Until then, remember to subscribe to Franklin's YouTube channel.